Okay, level ones. We're going to talk about logs. You probably heard the word. It probably sounds really scary. I promise you it won't be too bad. It is very new to you, so it might look a little bit weird. But logarithmic functions are the opposite of exponential functions. So remember, like, when we're using exponents, those are exponentials. Well, this is like the opposite. So these are inverse functions, just like subtraction is the inverse of multiplication. So the inverse function of an exponential function is, like I said, it's called a logarithmic function. And the logarithmic function with base a, where a is greater than 0, and a does not equal 1, is noted by the y equals log a of x. It's fancy language, okay? I'm going to make this very simple for you. So log a of x is the inverse to which base a must be raised to give x. So when you're given a log with no base, like no little number right next to the log, their common base is going to be 10. So if it's not there, it's going to be 10. So let's take a look at some of these examples. In level 1, you just have to memorize the pattern. In A, it says 5 to the third equals 125. Obviously, we know that's correct because if we put it 5 to the third in our calculator, we get the answer of 125. But in order to write it in logarithmic form, we're going to follow the pattern of, and call it ABC. So log A, B, C. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, in order to write it from exponential into logarithmic, you're going to take 5, obviously I need a log, and take log base 5 of 125 equals 3. So if I'm going from logarithmic form, that's what I gave you, to exponential, or from exponential to logarithmic. Okay, you're going to write it like that. So let's take a look at another example. You're going to do log base 3 of 1/9 equals -2. So you notice how these numbers, the 3 and the 5, are little numbers? Okay, they're almost like the opposite of exponents. They're like subscripts. So they're on the bottom of the log. They're little numbers. The 125 and the 1/9 are large. And then the exponents in the exponential are always what they're equal to. Okay, so you just got to remember the pattern. Let's try, why don't you try C, D, and E by yourself if you're ready. Otherwise, follow along with me. So I'm going to do the same thing. X is what this is going to be equal to. I'm going to say log of 3, 9 is going to equal X. Okay, same thing with D. The exponent is what it's going to be equal to. Log D, B equals 3. And then 0 is what it's going to be equal to. Log A of 1 equals 0. Okay, so it's just a pattern, another way to write an exponential equation using logs. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to change each log function to the exponential. Okay, so again, remember, whatever it's equal to is always going to be the exponent, and the base is always going to be the large number. So 5 to the second equals 125. Okay, and remember what I said, if there's no little number right next to the log, that log is going to have a base of 10. So I'm going to take this little number, make it big. Whatever it's equal to is going to become 0, and this is going to equal 1. Okay, let's keep going. I want you to try C, D, and E by yourself if you think you're ready. So following the same pattern, the base I'm going to make large, so it's going to be a regular number. Whatever it's equal to is going to be the exponent, and it's going to equal B. Okay, D is the same thing as B, where there's no little number right next to the log, so that little number is 10. So I'm going to take 10, raise it to the second, and that's going to equal 100. And last but not least, again, this one doesn't have a little number next to the log, so it's going to be 10. So we have 10 to the negative 1 equals 1 over 10. So all of these should make sense. Once you rewrite them, as long as they're numbers, you should be able to put the left side in your calculator and get the right side out of it. So if you do 5 squared, that equals 25. 10 to the 0 in letter B equals 1. C we can't put in our calculator, but D we can. 10 to the second is 100. And then same thing with E. 10 to the negative 1 is 1/10. So all of these should make sense in terms of putting it into your calculator and getting the correct equal, whatever it equals.